Hi everybody, the Goblin Squire here, and today I'm going to be unboxing my Reaper Miniatures subscription box from Mighty Lancer Games. This is my first venture into video, and it's also my first content under the name the Goblin Squire, so hopefully you'll cut me some slack if it's not perfect, but it would be great to hear any feedback, comments, queries that you have to help me improve moving forward. So as I say, this is a box from Mighty Lancer Games, which is a game shop in the UK, and it does a subscription box for Reaper miniatures, the low-cost miniatures from the US. This is a great little box normally. It only costs £20, including delivery, and you get a nice little selection, and I will show you everything that we get. So, without further ado, on top here, we have a little advert. This looks very Games Workshop to me. And sure enough, Warhammer Underworld Nightvolt. That looks exciting, but I live quite a long way away from Bridlington, so I don't think I'll be popping down to Mighty Lancer Games for that. So I'll crack on with the miniatures. And what do we have here? Aha, Bone Sylvanian's Lon. Now this looks to me like almost like a chibi werewolf, which is very cool, and I don't have anything quite like this. So I will look forward to painting that. Next up, we have Balthon, Evil Cleric. I wonder if they've gone for an early Halloween theme here, but this, I don't know if you can see, it's a little hard to make out in the packaging. But yes, Evil Cleric, and looks like he's holding a skull or a face, which will be very cool. Again, look forward to cracking that open. Once I've got these out and got painting, I'll show you some pictures of what I do with them. A good guy this time, or potentially, depending how I paint him up at least. A Crusader swordsman. Got some nice, I like that shield, and that is a cool little sword, but we'll have to see what comes of that as well. What have we got here? Mudcroak. Now that looks like a little toad man to me, which will be very cool to get painted up. Again, I don't really have anything like this. A little difficult to make out in the packaging. But again, I will get some pictures once he's painted up. But that looks pretty cool to me. And here, Amigo, complete with price label. Now, I don't really have any idea what that is. That will be one for me to look up on the website, I think. But it looks insectoid. It looks a bit arachnid, but then the limbs are not quite the right number. But perhaps there are pincers, maybe like a scorpion type thing. Again, once that's all put together and we can see a bit better what it is, I'll show that guy to you guys again. Ooh, Duke Gerard. Now here's another good guy. Now here you can see one of the slight issues with Reaper miniatures. If you have a look at his sword, it's got caught behind his shield here, and it's clearly slightly more banana shaped than sword shaped, but that's not a problem because we can sort that out with hot and cold water. But again, a very cool looking good guy here. Looks a little more important, maybe more powerful than the other one, but we'll have a look at him once he's out of the packaging. Aha, Skeletal Spearman. Now these really remind me of some of the really old school skeleton miniatures. I first played Warhammer when I was a teenager, so what are we looking at, the 90s, and it kind of reminds me of some of those skeletons from there. And again, you can see actually there's some definite bending on some of the spears, but we can sort that out. That's not a problem. Oh, a couple more things. What's this guy? Oh, another one that's a little hard to make out, but he's an ice devil, you can see up there. And I don't know if that weapon is meant to be that shape or if that's bent. But let's see how we fit. It's probably meant to be a staff, I should think, so probably not meant to be quite that shape. But yeah, coming in a few pieces again, but I reckon, based on what I've seen before of these, that guy will look pretty cool. Ooh. And to go with the small toad before, we've got a frog demon here. Now, again, very hard to make out what that's actually going to look like. so I'll have to post up a picture or two once I've got that together. But I like that that ties in with the frog and toad theme from earlier on. Now that's all for miniatures. They very kindly send a lolly, or a sucker I believe it's also called, and a nice refreshers bar, which also takes me back to my teenage years, it must be said. So I shall enjoy that while looking at some of those old school miniatures. Some information about Mighty Lancer Games, but you can find them right there, www.mightylancergames.co.uk. So they're worth checking out, particularly if you're in the UK. I think it will be a bit expensive if you're not, but definitely a good option there. Yeah, and so that's the contents of the box. I'm quite pleased with it because it's got some stuff in there that I didn't have before, and that's always nice for me to see. Yeah, and I'll get some of them painted up, and I will show them to you when they're painted.